What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, I have a deck profile for you guys today, but you guys are probably wondering, wait a minute, deck profile? What deck profile are you doing? Well, if you guys recall, not too long ago, I did a Crystal Beast deck profile. But what if the deck was advanced? I know that was a bad joke. I know that was a bad joke. Basically, I have an advanced Crystal Beast deck profile for you guys. I didn't realize it, but the Crystal Beast support that was released in sets like Legendary Duelist, I think what was it? Ancient Millennium, and some of the newer support that we got in the structure deck and whatnot, they all actually work with the advanced Crystal Beast, which is hilarious. So I figured, you know what? Why not do an advanced Crystal Beast deck profile? I completely switched up the extra deck compared to the original Crystal Beast deck, and then of course the side deck is a little bit different. The main deck, if you guys recall, with the original Crystal Beast deck, I did a 45 card build. The advanced Crystal Beast, I did a 40 card build. The reason being is because with cards especially with the advanced Crystal Beast deck, cards such as Bridge of the Heart does nothing to the deck. All it does, it just misses timing. So with the card, you know what? I think I'll do 41. I'll do a 41 card build. Normally I wouldn't do. You know what? No, fuck it. Never mind. Sorry guys. Cards such as Bridge of the Heart and Crystal Protection, all they do is just break your hand. They just break your hand, and they clog up the back row if you end up sending them face down. So they really do nothing to the deck. Literally nothing at all. So I figured, you know what? Let's try building an advanced Crystal Beast deck and see how it plays out. Honestly, the deck is absolutely insane. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this deck profile. If you guys are, and you guys want to see more deck profiles in the future, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media, including my Instagram, because I always post the deck lists on my Instagram. Links will be in the description below. And as always, if you guys have any fan mail that you guys want to send me, the info will be in the description as well. And before we get started, this video will probably get posted at around like 10-ish or something like that. Because right now I'm filming this literally 10 minutes to 9 in the morning. So normally I would start filming at around like 8:10-ish. I apologize if this video is coming in late. I was walking to Starbucks. Not sponsored or anything, just love their coffee. The one on Sherman Way, unfortunately was having a bit of an outage, so I ended up having to go to the one on Canoga where the orange line is, and I didn't realize it, but we have a new card shop in town. Literally in this town, right here in the Canoga Park area, we have a new card shop called King Fandom, and it's still under construction. And I guess they're having a grand opening on the 27th, so I might go. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm seriously tempted to, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. Even if I could go, I probably wouldn't be able to enter the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Just because none of my decks are complete. I'm still missing a fuck ton of cards, so that's why I've been buying them little by little on Troll and Toad. Big shout out as always, no copyrights. But yeah, so So big shout outs to King Fandom. Again, I might show up. Who knows? But again, shout outs to them. They have their own Instagram, which is pretty awesome. I just follow them. So, but with that being said, let's get straight into this Advanced Crystal Beast deck profile. Obviously, because that I am running an Advanced Crystal Beast deck, I am just like with the original Crystal Beast deck. I am running a single copy. Excuse me. I am running a single copy of Elemental Hero Neos and 2 Rainbow Dragon. With Rainbow Dragon, I was contemplating whether to use Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon, and I realized that it really doesn't matter. They both work the same way as far as like their summoning methods go, because I believe because with Rainbow Dragon you need to have seven crystal beasts with different names on your field or in your graveyard. With Rainbow Dark Dragon you have to banish seven dark monsters with different names. So basically it would be one of all seven of the crystals off of the effects of Advanced Dark, because with Advanced Dark all of your crystals become dark attributes. So it wouldn't have mattered. They basically work the same either way. They basically work the same either ways, but I realized Rainbow Dragon is a lot better than Dark Dragon, simply because of the fact that with Rainbow Dark Dragon, you're banishing your cards. With Rainbow Dragon, you don't have to banish anything. All you gotta do is just summon it, and you're pretty much just off to the races there. So that's why I'm running 2 Rainbow Dragon and a single copy of Neos because of the Neos fusion shenanigans, which is just insane. Next up, we have a single copy of Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. This is basically one of the main cards that you need to have in this deck to help you search out for your Advanced Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus, which basically gives you access to place Ruby in the back row, which is just absolutely insane. But it also has another effect where it reads if this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, place it face-up in your back row as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the grave. Each of the following effects are once per turn. When an attack is declared involving a Crystal Beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So once you summon this card, it essentially becomes a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is a 3000 vanilla beast stick on board, basically. But if this card is in your back row, you can banish it and summon a level 4 or Crystal Beast from your deck, but negate its effect. So obviously you would go after Sapphire, but you're mainly going to go after cards such as such as like Amber or perhaps even Emerald, so you can then link the Emerald and I'll say the Cobalt into perhaps cards such as a Phoenix, a Cerberus, or a IP, all of which I'm running in the extra deck, which I'll get to that later on. But still, this card absolutely insane. Then we are running a single copy of Adularia of the Moonlit Water. You guys are wondering, what does this card do? So, by the way, shoutouts to Brisk. This is Raspberry Tea. Shoutouts to Brisk. Not sponsored. Brisk is fucking awesome. Hashtag change my mind. Anyway, so Adularia is one of the new V-Jump promos that was released earlier this year, and its effect reads if a face-up card is in your back row, you can special summon this card from your hand. So this works perfectly with the Advanced Crystal Beast. So if you have, let's say, both this card and Sapphire in hand, you would go normal summon the Sapphire, trigger its effect, place Ruby into the back row, activate Adularia's effect, summon it to the board, activate Crystal Bond, get I'll say Topaz to your hand and Cobalt into the back row, and this is where and this is where its second effect comes into play. Gain 600 attack and defense for each face-up spell and trap on the field. Basically, it's basically mage power on steroids, which is insane. And then the third effect reads, you can send 2 face-up cards from your back row to your grave, send a level 4 lower monster from your deck to your grave. So it basically comes as a as a 2-for-1 because you're sending 3 cards to your graveyard, but still it's not too bad. But what is the one card that you're gonna be sending to the graveyard the most? Most likely, it's gonna be one of your crystal beasts. That's not Sapphire, because Sapphire lets you take a crystal beast from your bench. This one anyway lets you take a crystal from your bench pile, from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and then just place it face up in the back row, which is pretty nice. And then of course too, you can even also once you've used up its effect, you can then link it off into an IP or into a Phoenix to just pop the back row, or use IP to get you into the Nightmare Unicorn if you wanted to do so. Now we move on into the advanced Crystal Beasts. Now, as I said before with the original Crystal Beasts, each of them has their own first and third effects. So advanced Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Can't speak. Let me rephrase. So as I said, each of the advanced Crystal Beasts has their own separate effect, but the other effects are all the same. Which reads, if Advanced Dark is not in the field zone, send this card to the graveyard. And then the third effect of this card reads, if this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it face-up in your back row as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard. Now, Sapphire's second effect reads basically the same as the original, but on steroids. So it reads, if this card is summoned, you can place one of your Advanced Crystal Beasts that is banished in your hand, deck, or graveyard face-up in your back row as a continuous spell. So basically, again, it's basically Sapphire on steroids, which is really nice, and I'm running 3 copies of it because you have to have 3 copies. Everything else, all the other crystals except for Ruby is a 2 of. Ruby is only a 1 of, because having 2 is basically a break. So that's just how I see it anyway. Now Amber Mammoth's effect is actually kind of hilarious because its effect reads, once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets your Advanced Crystal Beast card or cards, and or Advanced Dark, as a quick effect, you can negate the activation. Once per turn, and then it actually Amber has 4 effects. That was its second. Its third effect reads, once per turn, when your Advanced Crystal Beast monster is targeted for an attack, negate the attack. That's insane. So with Amber, it basically gives you a free turn to just make your board and to be able to just pop off from there, which is absolutely insane. Topaz's effect reads all Advanced Crystal Beast monsters you control gain 400 attack and defense, and all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 400 attack and defense. So basically, this card paired off with Crystal Brilliance, whoo, you're gonna have some beefy. You're gonna have some beefy monsters on board. Real beefy, real fucking beefy. Cobalt Eagle's effect reads, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave. Add 1 Advanced Dark from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can target 1 Advanced Crystal Beast card you control, either return it to the hand or place it on top of the deck. So basically, Cobalt is essentially your terraforming for the whole deck. That's why I chose not to run terraforming and only 2 copies of Advanced Dark, because of the fact that with a deck with this build, you're pretty much guaranteed to see Advanced Dark potentially in your in your opening hand. But even if you don't see Advanced Dark, but you see Cobalt Eagle, it's essentially a Advanced Dark. So, and that's just too busted on its own. Plus, you can also compulse. You can also compulse one of your advanced crystal beasts back to your hand, which is absolutely insane. Next up, obviously the two amethysts. This card is just absolutely insane. The effect reads: your advanced crystal beast monsters can attack directly, but when they do so using this effect, the battle damage is cut in half. Amethyst ain't the only one that can deal damage directly. Everyone else can. So even something's caught in my nose. Anyway, even if your opponent were to make a board with seven, with I'll say 5 negates and three disruptions. Let's just say that. All of your advanced crystal beasts can bypass them and just attack your opponent directly, but the only thing that you have to be careful with is their back row, because they could potentially have a drowning mirror force, which could be disastrous for you, which is just not something you want. Ooh, excuse me. It's not something that you want to see anyway. Next up, we have 2 copies of Emerald Turtle. I know it says tortoise, but I'm calling it turtle because that was the name in the anime. So its effect reads: once per turn, as a quick effect, you can target a face-up monster on the field, change its battle position. So it's basically a zero gravity. So basically, it really doesn't matter whether you switch it into attack or defense position. It doesn't matter. It's basically a no entry, and it basically gives you access to deal a shitload of damage. But it all depends on what your opponent's board looks like too, which could literally be anything. Their board could literally look like anything. It could be Borderless Savage with three Link monsters, Axis Code Talker, Starving Venom, Zeus, Baron de Fleur. Literally, the possibilities are endless when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. And then to round up the monsters, we got the one Ruby Carbuncle, which reads: if this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, place the face-up in your back row as a continuous spell. That was basically the other effect. This is where it gets really interesting. If this card is treated as a continuous spell, you can special summon this card. Then you can special summon as many advanced crystal beasts as possible from your back row. Yeah, you can actually do that, which will give you access to go into IP, into an IP, into a Phoenix, depending on what you want to summon and what you want your board to look like. This card basically acts as a extender, because there's a couple of extenders. Obviously, Ruby's one, Audularia, and of course the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon are your extenders, if you will. And of course, too, the Cobalt Eagle, which is a terraforming, is another one of your extenders, which is really nice. Moving on into the spells, there's only 13 of them because I realized that the traps are just as important as the spells. So I figured, why not try and balance it out a little bit. So for the spells, we have 3 copies of Crystal Bond. This card is basically one of your combo starters. So if you don't have, so again, as I said before, if you don't have Sapphire in your opening hand, you can just go Crystal Bond. You can just go Crystal Bond, add Sapphire to the hand, place Ruby into the back row, normal summon the Sapphire, trigger its effect, Amber goes into the back row, activate Ruby's effect, summon it and Amber to your board, and then just link all 3 off into a Decode Talker or a Nightmare Unicorn, depending on who goes first, or if you want, you can just leave the board the way it is with Ruby, Amber, and Sapphire, and then you could just use Amber as a way to just negate, as sort of like a negation on board, basically, which is not too bad. Then of course, we got the 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge, which basically lets you add cards such as the Crystal Bond, Crystal Abundance, Grace, Miracle, Brilliance, or Conclave, or even Ultimate Crystal Magic, which is pretty nice. This basically your Spell and Trap Roto, which is really nice. Then of course we have 2 copies of Advanced Dark. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, why not just run 3? Truth be told, 3 is actually a brick. I ended up deciding to main 2. Simply because of the fact that you can use Cobalt Eagle as a way to add Advanced Dark to your hand and then just activate it right away. Plus not only that, your opponent may not target the Advanced Dark, so Advanced Dark essentially becomes unbreakable, basically, which is really nice. Plus, not only that, it also has a built-in protection where even if your crystal beasts get destroyed, you can take a crystal from your deck, send it to your graveyard, and you take no damage whatsoever. So you're practically invincible from being dealt attack damage, but that doesn't mean that you're safe from being dealt burn damage, of course. And then for the 1-ofs, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 1-ofs, 5 spells, 4 traps. We got the 1 Neos Fusion, obviously to summon out Rainbow Neos. We got the Harpy's Feather Duster, which is like one of the best pieces of back row removal you could think of. And my brother just texted me, hang on guys. Give me 1 second, guys. My brother literally just texted me. There we go. Again, the Harpy's Feather Duster, still one of the best cards in the format. I'm so glad that Konami brought this up to 1. I'm not sure if it would ever come up to 3, but who knows? Who knows? We got the 1 Crystal Abundance, which basically acts as your Dark Hole / Raigeki. This is basically a board wipe. So the effect of Abundance reads: send 4 Crystal Beasts from your back row to the grave. Send as many cards on the field as possible to the grave. Then special summon as many Crystal Beasts as possible from your grave up to the number of cards sent from your opponent's field to the grave by this card's effect. So if your opponent has 5 cards on the board, you basically get to summon 5 crystals from your graveyard. So excuse me. So the 5 cards that you're mainly going to be summoning are Sapphire, Amber, Topaz, Amethyst, and Emerald. Those are the 5 main cards that you're going to be summoning, which would then give you access to trigger Sapphire's effect to take Ruby and place it into your back row, and you're pretty much just off to the races there, which is really nice. And then to round up the spells, we got the one Monster Reborn and the 1 Call By, because obviously you want your plays to actually go through. For the 1-ofs of the traps, we got the 1 Ultimate Crystal Magic, which basically gives you access to summon Rainbow Overdragon, and then of course Rainbow Dragon Overdrive, which is a pretty busted card, which I'll explain what it does once we get into the extra deck. We got the 1 Crystal Conclave, which basically lets you tag into one of your other crystals from your deck, which is really nice. If your Crystal Beast is destroyed by battle or card effect, and it were to be sent to your back row, you basically get to replace that crystal with another. And not only that, but it also has another effect, which reads: which reads, you can send this face-up card from the field to the grave, target a Crystal Beast card you control and a card on the field, return them to the hand, but you cannot activate the effects in the same chain. So they would have to be in a separate chain, if you will, which is not the best, but still, it's not too bad. Next up, we have Crystal Brilliance. This is another new card that is absolutely insane. So the effect reads, you can only control one Crystal Brilliance. Crystal Beast monster you control gain attack equal to their original defense. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your back row, even during the damage step, you can send this face-up card from your back row to the grave, special summon a Crystal Beast from your hand or grave, and any damage you take is cut in half this turn. Crystal Brilliance pair off with the effect of Topaz Tiger. Yeah, you're gonna have some beefy monsters. In fact, I think Sapphire, Amber, and Topaz are gonna be your three most powerful monsters in the deck when you pair Topaz's effect with Brilliance. Yeah, those are gonna be some beefy monsters. And then, of course, we got the one Crystal Miracle, which basically acts as a solemn judgment, which reads, when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, destroy a Crystal Beast card you control, and if you do, negate the activation and destroy that card. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your back row, while this card is in your grave, even during the damage step, you can manage the card, place a Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or grave face up in your back row as a continuous spell. So this is basically another form of Sapphire. So it basically acts as if you have 4 copies of Sapphire Pegasus, but I do have a second Miracle in the side deck, just in case if cards such as the Conclave, the Audaloria don't really work out so well. I can then side one of those out for a second copy of Miracle, which is pretty cool. And then to round up the 40 card main, we got 2 copies of Omega Judgment, which is actually hilariously broken in this deck. So the effect of Omega Judgment reads, target one face-up monster in your back row and 2 cards in your opponent controls, destroy them. So this is basically similar to two-prong attack, where its effect reads, select and destroy 2 of your opponent's monsters and one of your monsters and one of your opponent's monsters. It's basically reverse two-prong attack, where instead of destroying 2 of your cards, you're only destroying 1 of your cards. And one of those cards that you're going to be destroying the most, for the most part, is definitely the Cobalt Eagle, because you can then bring it back off of the effects of Crystal Miracle, which is pretty insane for the most part. And then again to round up the main, we got 2 copies of Crystal Grace, which is not too bad. It's not too bad. So if you guys don't know about Crystal Promise, the effect of Crystal Promise reads, target 1 Crystal Beast card in your back row and special summon it. Basically, Crystal Grace becomes that on steroids. So the effect reads, special summon up to 2 Crystal Beasts from your spell and trap zone, and if you do, gain life points equal to their total original attack. If a Crystal Beast card or cards is placed in your back row, while this card is in your grave, even during the damage step, you can banish this card, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it's a Crystal Beast monster, either add it to your hand or special summon it, otherwise send it to the graveyard. So if it were to be a Crystal Miracle, basically it would give you another Sapphire in your graveyard, which is just too good. I know that some people are saying that these cards, that the monsters are way past their prime. Honestly, I don't see it that way. I think Konami made the right choice by waiting until now to release them, because had they have released them, back when Force of the Breaker was released, or Strike and Neos, I truly believe that these cards would have been extremely good in the meta back then, and these cards would have been banned really easily, probably either before or after SGC Montreal in 2007. So I think Konami made the right choice bringing these into today's Yu-Gi-Oh. But moving on into the extra deck, I'm actually gonna go. I'm actually gonna be normal for once and go from. Or actually, you know what? Fuck that. No, I'm gonna go backwards from Link to Fusion. So for the links, we've got the one IP Masquerena, basically to give you access to go into the Cerberus, which I am running in the extra deck, the Phoenix or the Unicorn, which is pretty nice. So Nightmare Cerberus basically lets you pop one of your opponent's special summon monsters, which is pretty cool. Phoenix pops the back row, and of course Nightmare Unicorn shuffles cards, from your opponent's board into their deck. And during the draw phase, you get to draw a card for each co-linked Nightmare cards on board. So if you have Unicorn in the extra monster zone, and then they have Phoenix and Cerberus in the main monster zone, that basically gives you three. That basically gives you more cards to draw, which will give you access to go. Which will give you a chance to to attempt to top deck your Advanced Dark, your Cobalt Eagles, or go after your Feather Duster if you need the card that badly. Next up we got the one Decode Talker, which is just too big of a house. We got the Axis Code Talker, which is mainly in here to win games. If all of your lane monsters are in your graveyard, you can summon the Axis Code Talker, target the Nightmare Unicorn, banish it, and basically gains attack, and basically gains some attack, and then you can just banish all of your link monsters to pop your opponent's board, and essentially just win for game. And then we have a new addition to the deck. We have a couple of new additions to the deck, and they're basically counterparts to one another. We have Appaloosa, Bow the Goddess. I realized that Lightning Shidori, because I was planning to run Lightning Shidori in this deck, but I realized Shidori does nothing to the deck. So I've got the Lightning. So I've got Appaloosa, Bow the Goddess, and Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. So Underworld Goddess reads, you can also use one monster your opponent controls as material to link summon this card. If this card is link summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. This link summon card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster or monsters from the grave, you can negate the activation. So it's basically Ghost Bell on steroids, which is insane. And not only that, you can also break your opponent's board just by using one of their monsters as material, which is something that you want to see actually take place, which is pretty nice. And then of course its counterpart, Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, basically gives you basically gives you 2, 3, maybe 4 negates on board. You're off to the races there. For the Exceed monsters, we only have 4. We got the 1 Abyss Dweller, basically to stop, to stop graveyard effects from triggering, which I think is mostly like what Sky Striker, Sword Soul, and I think Tri Brigade, Albaz, basically to stop those decks for the most part. And then of course we got 2 Time Thief Redoer and the Zeus. What do you do when Redoer has a lot of materials? Go into Zeus during the main phase 2. Pop the board. You're good to go. Plain simple. And then for the fusions, we got the Rainbow Neos. We got the Rainbow Overdragon. We got the Rainbow Overdragon, and then of course the Rainbow Dragon Overdrive, which reads: must be special summoned from your action deck during a duel. You special summoned an ultimate crystal monster by banishing the above cards from your field and or grave. Gain 7,000 attack while you have 7 or more banished crystal beast monsters with different names. If this card did not battle this turn, as a quick effect, you contribute this card. Shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck, and special summon as many of your banished crystal beast monsters, any number of your crystal beast monsters. This is basically Crystal Abundance on steroids, which is just absolutely insane. So with Rainbow Dragon Overdrive, it's as if you have a second copy of Crystal Abundance, which basically gives you access to just go for, which basically gives you game on board. So if you have, let's see, go to my calculator. So let's see, we have, let's see. Let's see. I need something. I need something to write with, because I just realized I need to do some math, and I'm not. I used to be good with math, but not anymore. So let's see. I finally have something to write with. Let's see. Let's see. I'm literally like writing down numbers right now, so I apologize. Okay, so let's see. So with Rainbow Dragon Overdrive, the 5 cards you're going to be summoning are Sapphire, Amber, Topaz, Amethyst, and Emeralds, and Emerald. And then with Topaz's effect, let's see, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, that's 22, off of Sapphire, Amber, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2000, 16, and 1,000. Basically, just with them alone, you essentially just have game on board. You have lethal, which is pretty insane. But if you were to pair it off with Crystal Brilliance, you essentially just have game completely. Your opponent will scoop really quickly. So that's why I got the Rainbow Dragon Overdrive, because it acts as a second abundance. And then for my side deck, this is just my preference. You guys can have any side deck you want, but for my side deck, I've got. Hang on, guys. But for my side deck, I've got 2 copies of Darla, the Mystery Dust Kaiju, and two Game Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju, mainly to go up against the Floowandereeze decks, which can use both the Water Barrier statue and the Wind Barrier statue, which is just insane. We got the 2 Ash Blossom, the 2 Ghost Oak Bell, the 2 Ghost Ogre, I've got the 2nd Crystal Conclave, the 2nd Brilliance, the 2nd Miracle, and then of course the 2 Solemn Warning. So guys, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this deck. Honestly, the deck looks amazing. I was surprised that it took Konami this long to get the advanced Crystal Beast monsters into the meta, but I mean, better late than never, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more deck profiles in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And as always, make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media, including my Instagram, because I always post the deck lists on my Instagram. Links will be in the description below. And if you guys have any family that you guys want to send me, and you guys want me to open it up on the channel, all the info will be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.